I am so excited to introduce our next amazing speaker. Oh my goodness. Oh gosh. Oh, this story. I'm so excited for you all to hear this woman's story. Right? I am just so touched by the journey this woman has been on since she showed up at our first call 6 months ago to just where she is now and trusting her voice, owning the value of her message, her presence. I just feel moved, I just want to cry. I am so excited to introduce to you the incredible Sherry Williams. In her talk, An Ex-Prostitute's Guide to Creating Destiny. Let's give it up. Let's give it up for Sherry.
Oh, Sherry!
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 Go, Sherry!
Hey, girl, bring it!
You can do this.
Yes,
You
got it.
Let's make sure everybody is totally muted. So just make sure, do a double. Make sure you're muted. All right, Sherry, when you're ready.
I'd like to take you back to the 1980s. The 80s was a time where we did not have cell phones. We carried pagers and we had CB radios. It was also a time of neon in clothing. And the women, some of us would cut our hair in layers, and we would take Aquanet hairspray that came in these big cans, and we would spray our hair back until it became feathered and a ginormous, gorgeous piece of art. The 80s was something else. And there was a particular night, 1989, I was standing barefoot on a rooftop in Las Vegas, Nevada. I was staring out across all the city lights. My left fingers had the shoes that had been on my feet, 4-inch black velvet platform sandals. My right hand was fidgeting with the sequins that was on my dress. My feet hurt, my body was exhausted, but my mind, it was working. It was working on a plan to get out of Las Vegas. It's not the first time I had had that desire, but I can tell you that tonight there had been specific motivation to really push me towards that. You see, in the previous hour, I had been in a penthouse of the same casino. There were 3 men, and they were pretty drunk. One of the men grabbed me, and he shoved me into the penthouse bathroom, telling me, "Lock the door behind you." I did, with shaking hands and a shaking body. He and I both knew that if he hadn't done something, those other 2 were certainly going to rape me. With me safely in the bathroom locked in, he turned his attention to the other 2. He convinced them to actually go back down to the casino, back to the roulette table, and play. Their leaving allowed me to escape, and escape I did up to that rooftop. You know, there was decisions that had to be made, and they were decisions I wasn't ready to make. I had bills, I had no money in the bank. Changing jobs, where to go, what to do. There was doubt, and there was this tightness in my body. Ultimately, I did come up with a plan, which found me driving into this small Nevada mining town just off of an interstate. I remember driving in thinking, there's more glitter in the backseat of my car on my dresses than there is in this entire town. Las Vegas, it was not. I had found myself a room in a house in this town. The room, well, it was my office, and the house was a cat house. If you don't know what a cat house is, it's a nickname for a brothel. It's a place where women live and they sell their services. They're all different, but my particular house, which was now my home, had a living room with a saloon bar. It was a ginormous thing, very awesome, wood carving. It was like something you'd see in a Western movie. It even had the big mirror behind with the etchings on the corners. The house had a dining room, and it was strictly for the ladies. We had a kitchen, and we had a house mom. We called her mom. She fed us hot meals, and she was always there with an ear to talk to. Back out in the dining room, well, that was where our CB radio was. And the ladies could spend hours talking to people without names, but nicknames called handles. There was Large Marge, the Dakota Kid, Marlboro Man. You get the idea. And on this one afternoon, my favorite client, Big Iron, that was his handle. He was a trucker, and he would stop by 1 or 2 times a week, and we always had such a good time and good conversation. On this one afternoon, his time had come to an end, and I asked him if he could see himself out. And he said, of course. So he came over and he patted me on my butt. And I reached over and patted him on his butt. And then I closed the door behind him. I turned then, and I went to sit at the end of the bed. Looking around this room that I had made my home was paint color that was nothing I would have chosen. And then there was the single piece of art on the wall, definitely not my choice. But I had made this my home. I had made this my choice. This home was safe. It gave me warm food, and someone had my back for a change. I'm pretty certain it was the conversation that Big Iron and I had that afternoon. It was on friendships, old friendships and Big Iron friendships. It had opened up the idea of something else. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw this emerald green taffeta dress poking itself out from my old stuffed closet, a remnant from Las Vegas days. And it was as if that emerald green dress was talking to me. I want to be seen again. I want to get out of these 4 walls. We can make new friends, good friends. Let's go on an adventure. I'll even wear sensible shoes. So, this green taffeta dress was asking me for a little bit of courage. There was a tightening pain in my chest, and once again, I flashed back up to that rooftop in Las Vegas. The doubts, the indecision of what to do, and could I do it? How could I do this again? There was a moment when I came to realize that the pain, it was my heart. My heart had finally found a voice that I could hear. This voice, my heart, was asking me for me to be the person worthy of who I was born to be here. And I want to be very clear that it wasn't that my path had not been worthy. It was that to stop on the path, to not complete the journey, that would not have honored who I was born to be. The voice I heard coming from my heart spoke now. Now. This is the time. Listen. Go. Back on the end of that bed, I had decisions to make. The vision that came to me was going to require a resume. And how was that going to look? All these years off of life's radar? But I came up with the attributes of a prostitute. Customer service. You see, a prostitute has to have excellent customer service, be good dealing with challenging and difficult personalities, and be able to shift direction at a moment's notice. These were all great skills. I could fill in a paragraph in my resume with various customer service positions. There were two more things that I didn't name like I named the resume, but looking back, I had. They were compassion and forgiveness. You see, I had to have compassion for myself that would be greater than the fear of all the decisions I would be making in those upcoming years. I had to have forgiveness for the ones that didn't go as planned, for the times I tripped and fell and had to get back up. I am grateful for every experience I have had in my life. I am grateful for the wisdom they gave me. And I am extremely grateful for who I became through my life. I'd like to share with you that in 2014, at the age of 50, I walked the stage at Cal State University, and I was handed a Bachelor's of Science degree. If my life had been assessed in those years prior, it would not have looked very hopeful or bright. But I'm here to tell you that destiny is not a fixed thing. Destiny shifts to meet you where you step. There were definitely cycles of pain, uncertainty, and doubt in those years. They were my reality, but they shifted as I shifted. And I'd like you to know that here I am, standing on the other side of life. That our pains shift and can be true. That our doubts do not define where we go. Your pains are true, your doubts are true, and your reality is very true. It is true for you today. Tomorrow, it can be your past. And as our past does not define our future, tomorrow can be what you make it. I would love to walk the path beside you to the other side of your life. And I wonder, is your heart asking you to become the person worthy of who you were born to be? And if so, I'm here. And now is the time. Thank you.
Wow. That's so powerful. What an amazing story.
Amazing.
Very.
Bravo!
Amazing.
Well done.
Yay.
Oh, incredible.
There was around a big greater name, a greater network. It's going to be like difficult to collaborate. It's actually the opposite because clients that have been through this course, now they've got the mindset right. But there we go.
Someone's multitasking. Okay, so I would love to invite, I already see it happening, but put in the chat, what did you love? What did you love about Sherry's talk? And I would love to open up a celebration. Someone who would just love to provide a specific celebration. What did you love about Sherry's talk? What moved you? What inspired you? Go ahead and you can just unmute yourself.
I loved when she said she's on the path. She'd want to be on the path to the other side of my life. It was just beautiful. The whole thing was beautiful. I was so excited when she said that she got her Bachelor of Science. That was amazing. Like the hard work that would have had to go into that, from where she was to where she went. That's incredible. Thank you for sharing that, Sherry.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, Sherry, I'm so deeply moved. You know, I mean, that's such the hard work you put into doing that, the hard work of this program where you started to here you are. So gorgeous, so deeply moved by you, so excited to see you take this and spread this message. Let's give her another huge round of applause.
Whoa.
Oh, girl.
Yes, Sherry.
Wow.
Very.
Wow.